everyone! Today I'm going to talk about two of the songs in Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. And the two songs are Jacob and Sons and Go 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 Joseph. They both feature the role of the narrator. So we're focusing on the female voice and specifically the high mix register. So we talk about registers in voice. We know we have a chest voice, we have a head voice, and when you bring them together, they create a mixed voice. And I really believe there's a low mix and a high mix. And like I said, we're going to focus on the high mix, which in the female voice is really, it might start anywhere around B flat maybe, or B natural on the piano if I listen to those two notes. And in this Joseph songs, there's an E natural, there's also a G natural. So those are pretty high notes to mix your voice. And we're going to talk about how to do that in a really healthy way and maybe give you an exercise or two that might help you in developing your higher mix voice. So if I look at Jacob and Sons, I jump right into the main part. Jacob and Sons spent all of the days in the field with sheep. That Jacob, there's your E. And you'll notice my mouth is open, but not too open. It's about finding a little bit of a happy medium is what I say. So I have a lot of students that sing with their mouth a little too closed for my liking. Jacob and Sons, Jacob. It's the right note, but do you see how it's got a little tension to it? The back of my tongue might be a little tense. I feel a little strain in my chords. So if I open it up, Jacob, with my lips a little, it's almost like a little lift in your cheeks so that it's almost like you're smiling with your eyes. Have you ever heard of that? The smiles. I like to think about those things sometimes. The other way to go is too oval or too open, right? Jacob! That's got too much vibrato, first of all, for this type of song. It's got more of a classical tone to it. It's just not right stylistically for the role of the narrator in Joseph. So we want to think about that. Jacob! And I like a forward sound without it going here. Jacob! Ooh, first of all, tons of strain in my chords. Also just nasal, not the right sound, right? So I've been thinking a lot of this way open. Open, it's still forward, but it's not pushed too far out that way. And these images are just good for developing your voice. So we're gonna do that whole beginning. Just the first verse of this Jacob and Sons song. And the other thing that I like to talk about with this role is that the narrator, in and of itself, is responsible for doing what? Telling the story. So even though we're not talking very much about diction today, it's really important that your diction is clear and that the narrator role does just that, tells the story. This is how we're communicating what's going on, what's happening on stage through the lyrics, right? So it's important that we're able to understand them. So I'm gonna start with way, way back. Way, way back many centuries ago, not long after the Bible began, Jacob lived in the land of Canaan, a fine example of a family man. Jacob and Sons depended on farming to earn their keep. Jacob and Sons spent all of the days in the field with sheep. And it's all about that open Jacob. It should feel comfortable to sing these notes. It should feel effortless, if you will. So if it feels like you're straining, you're pushing, your throat hurts a little bit after you've sung, or just plain doesn't feel comfortable, usually we're doing something wrong. So this is when you meet with your voice teacher and really talk about, why is this happening and how can I fix this? How can I make sure I'm singing in the right register, or I'm getting enough breath, or I'm opening my mouth the correct way and not over opening or having my mouth too shut, right? These are things that can all affect our voice and how we sound. I'm going to jump right on over to Go 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 Joseph. And I'm going to jump in at the really, really high part for females. These goes. And the way I want you to practice these is not on the lyric. I really think the best way to get this note if you're working on your mix is using a sound like a bop. I had this awesome teacher in New York City named Judy Blazer. She's amazing. And she used to talk about the upper mix, the high mix, sounding like a trumpet and really having more of a brass sound. So we would use the word bop. Bop, 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 bop. And how do you get that? Bop, 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 bop. And and practicing on that first before you go, 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 go. You will eventually get the go. Obviously, that's the song, that's the roll. But if we start with a bop, that can help us. We're going to do an exercise together. A simple arpeggio right here on a bop. Bop, 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 bop. Bop, 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 bop. Keep going. Bop, 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 bop. 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 And one more on the bop. Bop, 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 bop. Bop. Woo! I do a lot of those sirens and sighs just to release my voice, and it's good for all of you as you're working this stuff to release at any time that you feel is appropriate or like you really just need to let go and start again. And that's okay, especially in rehearsal or practice or things like that. So I like the bop. Bop, 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 bop. That sound is nice and strong. Then we're gonna go here and do a na. And we're gonna think about, actually, I like to think about like tossing a softball. Na, na. I'm gonna go up, na. And I wanna be careful that we don't get too nasal. We don't want na. It's kind of ugly. Also, ooh, that's not the best on my chords, right? There's a little push. I'm lifting my larynx a little bit too much and we get that nasality. We do not want that at all. We want to think about relax. So if I think here, cheeks, na na, or I'll go, let's go here, na, na, ah. And you'll notice my mouth is again open, but not no, too open, or na, too close, na. So let's go right there, na, 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 na. We're gonna do one more, na, then come down, na, 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 na. Awesome. So we're gonna jump in and do that go, go, go. This high note. Bop, 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 bop. And it's hard to jump in that high, I know, in the middle of the song. We've actually already had a whole bunch of the song happen by the time we get to this point. Go, 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 if you know what they say. So that's your first phrase. Bop, 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 bop. You could change it into a loo, which is going to sound a little more classical, but it might just open up the head voice a little bit. Loo, 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 loo. Not the final product, but a way to practice the melody line at home. Loo, 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 loo. Then we change to a bop. Bop, 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 bop. And then we're going to do the go. Go, 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 just if you know what they say. Hang on now, just if you'll make it someday. Sha-la-la, just if you're doing fine. You and your dream coach ahead of your time. Go, 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 Joe! And that's how we do that. Crazy! And the more you can warm up your voice and get into these low exercises, bop, 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 or nah, before you jump into the music, the song, and I even do warm-ups that include some legit work, some work on your head voice, some work on your chest voice, really utilizing your whole voice, and you can do a great warm-up in 10 minutes. That's what I really believe. And then jump into this type of music that's a little harder to work on. Awesome. Until next time, keep on singing, everyone.